Hello, dog lover. My name is Saro. I'm a dog trainer, also coach dog owners. If this is your first time, welcome. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions on the chat area, in the chat area, and I will answer them all. Um, Welcome to another live show, live dog training. Um, my name is Saro, as I said, and I focus on training dogs without the use of treats, food, aversive tools like shock collars, prong collars, choke chain collars, force, domination, or being alpha. In this channel, we focus on training dogs using play and praise reward system. What that means is instead of using food or treats or any other tool that forces the dog to get nervous or anxious, we focus on using a more natural form of reward, which is play and praise to reward the dogs. Welcome to the live show. This is to see if we're going to have some new viewers from, I believe, Europe and other areas, time zones of the world, and maybe from wherever you are, if you could tell me where you're from and what time of the day is where you are, that would be great as well. So I will answer your dog training and dog related questions as much as possible. And also I'm going to talk about a topic that or question that I recently get a lot, which is dog owners rescuing a dog who is who has been abused by humans, and what to do and how to deal with that. So I'm going to talk about that as well. So I see there is a question from Cache Dog Service. Cache Dog Service, great. Um, Hi, sir. I'm from India. Good morning. So it's morning in India. Good morning to you. Thank you. It's morning, kind of morning here as well. As per India time, sir, I want to know how to train 3-month-old puppy of Labrador. Um, it doesn't really, in my opinion, I don't think there's really matters what kind of a breed it is, as long as you're not focused on the breed traits of that dog. Um, if you are trying to have your lab or your dog as a pet, it's all the same. If you want to do with your dog, let's say hunting or scent, scent, you want to use your dog as a scent service, one of those dogs for search and rescue. Depends on what you want to use for your dog. So if you want to train your dog specifically for certain tasks, you have to focus on training that dog using that method, that specific method of training. But in general, if you want to train any dog for being a pet or being a family member, this is the right place and this is the right channel for you to be. I have tons of videos that you can learn how to train your puppy. I have actually started a video series that started last week, which we talk about how to train a puppy, my own puppy. I'm teaching you how to train your puppy. So every Saturday, you're going to see a video of me training my puppy. So tomorrow, there will be another video where I show you how to teach your puppy to sit. But in general, whenever we want to train a dog, a puppy, we start with basics, right? Very basics of puppy, which basically is we start wording the cues and the commands that we want to teach our dog. One of them is, for example, if we want to stop our dog to stop doing certain behavior, we teach a cue. In my case, I teach no, the word no. So the puppy listens that word no means don't do that. We start wording it. For example, we teach puppy to sit. We say come, stay, all these. We just word it. So the basic, you're not really expecting any results out of them. You're just wording them. You're just teaching your puppy that this means this. And in about 4 months old or older, you start formal training. So labs usually can start being trained for formal training 4 to 5 months and older. You can start formal training them. Formal training is basically teaching them the basics of obedience. That's what it is. And then as they get older and older, like a year old, 2 year old, up to let's say 4 year old, you can always go to the next level of obedience, intermediate level and then advanced level. And then you can start focusing on whatever you want to do with your dog. If you wanted your dog to do agility, you can start then. If you want your dog to do, let's say, search and rescue, you can start training the search and rescue related training to your dog. You can start training for, let's say, guarding, whatever task you want your lab to do. You can start training them. But always you have to start with the basics. Basically, it's ABC of dog training. That's how you basically start training a puppy. You start introducing the words and not have any expectations of the puppy obeying or listening. You're just introducing the word. And it takes few months for the puppy to get hang of it. Hopefully that answers your question, and thank you for letting me know that you are from India and it's a morning there as well. So great to know that. We have you'll see samples. How can one help a dog that freaks out in the car? Hmm. um, this is a problem that many dog owners are dealing with. That's there are two things that are happening when you are when you are dealing with a dog who has car related issues. One is natural problem, right, issue that they have, and the other one is behavioral. So what I mean by that, the natural thing is that, genetically most dogs, just like humans, for example, when you get in the boat, there is this thing that you feel boat sick. The waves make you feel bad. So that's something that you are naturally not feeling good. So that's something that you can't really do anything about it. You have to depend on medication and maybe some treatment to deal with it. So you have to figure out your dog either has medical issue or mental issue, or behavioral issue. So if it's not medical, um, if it's behavioral, what you have to do is you have to teach your dog that the car is a safe environment, safe zone. Um, I think mainly the reason dogs don't feel safe in the car is because of the bad experiences that they have had when they were younger or so, from riding in the car. So they remember those bad memories and bad experiences, and they react based on that. So what you want to do, you want to go through a procedure of undoing all those negative experiences that they had. Um, so you're also saying that this is a rescue dog. So the rescue dogs, that's another subject that we were going to talk about today, which is basically whenever you have a rescue dog, you don't know what has happened previously in the past. So it could be that your rescue dog had some bad experiences in the car, due to neglect, or intentionally or unintentionally. Something happened to your dog when they were younger, and they are a little bit intimidated, or they are a little bit anxious being in the car. So especially with a rescue dog, which we will talk about a little bit more in today's video. Um, you want to make sure that you take the right steps. So whenever, if it's not health related, and it's behavioral and it's mental, what you want to do is you want to help your dog and undo that behavior. And the way you're going to undo that behavior is working with your dog from level 1 till you get to level whatever your dog is. So at the moment, let's say your dog is level 10. It hates the car. Nope. It hates the car. It hates being in the car. All that. What you want to do is you want to work with your dog till it's level 1, right? So you start from level 1. And I will share a video that I talk about the steps that you need to do, you take, um, or issues. So I'm gonna link it in the chat area. That's the video that you want to watch. That I go through the steps that you need to take when it comes to your dog and being in a car and being stressed or anxious in the car. There are certain things that you have to start doing and certain things that you have to stop doing. So what I mean by that is, for example, if your dog is stressed from the car, I would suggest, first of all, don't put your dog in that situation. Don't let your dog to experience that for now, if possible, and then work around it until your dog gets comfortable being in the car. Kashi, Bo, no. Kashi, dog service. Good morning, sir. I trained 3 months or whatever. Okay, I think I answered that question. Yes. And Kashi Dog Service, thank you, sir. You're welcome. And Yultis says, thank you, Saro Dog Training. You are welcome. So, yes, just watch that video that I have the link in the chat line. Plus, remember to figure out if this condition that your dog has, is it medical or behavioral? So since there are no questions at the moment, I wanted to talk about this issue of rescue dog. You know, many dog owners, they adopt or rescue dogs, and they have this problem with their dogs, and their dog is either not socializing properly, is having a hard time, is aggressive towards men, or this or that. There are issues. So one of the things that I want you to understand, that whenever you rescue a dog, you're dealing with a dog who has already developed certain behavior towards certain things. It's like teaching a dog to sit, you know, the command of sit or stay, and then you can't really undo that learned pattern, you learned behavior. You can't undo that anymore. You can't say don't sit anymore. The dog is going to sit anyways. The dog is going to, you can't say don't stay anymore, don't come anymore. The dog has already learned those behaviors. You can't undo them. But what you could do, you could help them to manage the sit and stay or the learned behavior. So the way you do that is you tell them to sit now, don't sit now. Stay now, don't stay now. Come now, don't come now. Behave this way now, don't behave this way now. So that's, I think, the key of understanding what is really happening in your dog, in your dog's mind. What that means is your dog has already developed those behaviors, and you can't really undo it. You can't say that this is a behavior that I want to get rid of it, erase it. You can't really erase any behavior that has already developed in your dog. Both, no. you can't erase that behavior, so you can't really get rid of that behavior. The only thing that you can do is you can manage it. What I mean by managing it is you can work towards helping your dog to deal with that problem or issue that has, and slowly become comfortable towards whatever your goal is. Let's say your goal is that your dog is scared of men, right? So your goal is to eventually help your dog to be okay towards men. This may take 1 month, may take 1 year. It depends on how long it takes for the dog to understand, first of all, what is going on, and second of all, how are you going to work with your dog. It all depends on these challenges that you're going to have, whether you're going to be able to inform your dog or not, or you're going to be able to get results from your dog. So all of these has to be worked out properly in order to get results. And most of the time, most dog owners, when they adopt a rescue dog, they rush too fast, they go too fast, they want to get results right away, which is not realistic to have this issue, this to solve this problem, because your dog is, let's say if it's 2 years old, has practiced that behavior for 2 years. So to undo that behavior, it will take at least a year or two to do it. So you know what I mean? So realistically, you have to see it that way. It all depends on how well you are able to help your dog and how well your dog is able to receive those information and and understand. And most of the time, when you are adopting or rescuing a dog, your first goal should be helping that dog to trust you 100%, not 99%, but 100%. So what I mean by that is you want to make sure that your dog has someone to trust 100%, and be dependent on that person, so you can become a great example for your dog. So, for example, if you want someone to not to be afraid of men, you're a man, you're a human, whether you're a woman or a man, you're a human. Your dog has to learn that humans are okay. So you should be the first person that your dog trusts 100%. Now, you're going to say, yes, my dog trusts me, but has to be 100%. Many people go up to maybe even 99%, not 100%. So how do you know that your dog trusts you 100%? Is by going through all the training, working with your dog, and spending, I would say, quality time, a lot of quality time with your dog, a lot of beneficial times with your dog, and a lot of times that your dog learns and observes and gets information from you for a long period of time. If you do that, you're committing to spend a lot of time with your dog. Then your dog is going to say, this person is committed to me. It's a great example for me to focus on. But if you don't do your part and you just focus on giving your dog affection and care, then your dog is not going to be able to really trust you. So in my theory or my philosophy is, if you want to help, especially a rescue dog, you have to provide your dog's daily essential needs. And this is one of the parts of your commitment to the dog, to make sure that your dog trusts you 100%. And what are those 5 essential needs? They are to provide daily exercise, training, socialization, care, and also affection. It's not that you just focus on affection or affection is not there. It's there, but that is the last thing that your dog needs. one of the first things that your dog needs is proper amount of exercise. So rescue dogs, for instance, if you have a if you have rescued or adopted a rescue dog, most people they think because it's a rescue dog, I have to exercise this dog in order to get it, exercise and pent up energy, release all that pent up energy, and uh, do this and this, all that. They may be focused on that exercise, but believe it or not, a rescue dog who is you have just adopted is very stressed. It doesn't need additional stress. But if you over-exercise your rescue dog, you're going to add more stress in your dog. So what you want to do is reduce the stress, right? Your job or your task is to reduce the stress. That means you have to reduce the exercise as well. So you have to provide proper amount of exercise for your dog in order for your dog to learn to relax. You have to train your dog as well. Every day, you have to train your dog. Every day, you have to work with your dog so your dog builds that connection with you, and you build that connection and trust with your dog, and your dog starts building that trust and bond with you. And socialization is part of um, everyday life as well. So let's say if your dog is aggressive towards man, is lacking those social skills, how to deal with a man, right? So what you want to do is you want to use exercise, proper amount of exercise and training to use these parts to teach your dog how to socialize. And then you want to provide proper amount of care and then affection as well. So care is proper diet, proper physical care, and also mental care, but also affection too. So if you provide all these, you're shortcutting the path to building that 100% trust from your rescue dog. So it will be faster if you focus on this. So if you want to learn more about these 5 essential needs, I invite you to join for the course which I have, and you can find online, which you can find it on my website, sarodogtraining.com, and you can learn more about those 5 essentials. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how you are supposed to approach a rescue dog if you want to help your rescue dog to deal with whatever issue they have. So it takes time, but um, to make sure that your dog is learning and becoming a more relaxed, confident, comfortable dog, you have to be the example first of all, right? So you have to work and towards that with using exercise, training, socialization, care, and affection. And then once you become a good example for your dog, then you can ask your family members or friends to join in and make sure that your dog is getting used to you, friends, family members, and add more and more people to that group that your dog starts trusting. We have a question from Miss Minnie. I hope I'm pronouncing right. How would you help an aggressive dog, and how would you raise a puppy? So these are two separate questions, but for the puppy, I just explained previous in the beginning of the show. I explained how to raise a puppy. What you want to do is figure out what you want to do with your puppy, but in general, focus on starting with basics, which is basic obedience, basic puppy training level, basic obedience, basic formal training, intermediate level, and then advanced level, and then get into agility, scent work, whatever you want to do, search and rescue, whatever you're passionate about. You add those, and that's how you train and raise a puppy. And if you want to learn more, actually, I have, as I just mentioned earlier, have started a video series that I show you how I raise my own puppy. So it has started already from last week, and tomorrow there will be another video that you can watch how I'm helping my puppy. There will be weekly videos of how I'm raising my own puppy, Annie. Now, how to help an aggressive dog. Um, uh, Basically, helping an aggressive dog is similar to helping a rescue dog. So just back up a little bit, go back from this video and watch what I just explained. An aggressive dog also, the reason they're aggressive is because they're stressed, they're anxious, they don't know how to deal with life overall life. They don't know how to do things, so they become stressed, and that stress becomes aggression. Okay, so aggression is the reason aggression happens. The cause of it is stress. So your dog is stressed. So let's say it's aggressive towards. If you could let me know why is it aggressive towards what? Aggressive towards people, dogs, cats. What is it? So whatever, let's say it is. Let's say it's towards dogs. It doesn't know how to deal with dogs, right? So you have to teach it how to deal with dogs. So the way you do it is you spend a few months introducing dogs from distance, and within months or even a year, maybe you close that distance. So your dog learns that distance means safety, it means nothing bad happens. And as you close the distance, and if you see that your dog is getting nervous in this level, you expand the distance and make it go back again until your dog becomes more and more comfortable with the distance. So you close in the distance until your dog is really close to other dogs and feels safe and secure and not to be stressed. But aggression in general is, the cause of it is stress. So I'm going to share with you a video that I talk more about it. Let me just put it in the chat line. So the title of it is Aggression, and there's a link. Please go ahead and watch that for more information of how to deal with aggression. I have few videos that I have talked about aggression. Now we have Equendayo Samuel. I'll just call you Samuel. That's easier for me. Have a crossbreed dog of 3 months that doesn't want to turn up at all, not collecting any from my hand. What can I do? I really don't understand what the question is. Can you explain a little bit more? That doesn't want to turn up at all, not collecting anything from my hand. I really don't understand the question. Is it that your dog doesn't accept food from you? Is that what you're saying? If you could explain a little bit more, that would be great. TC, that's an easy name. TC is in the house. I have tried our training collar. As soon as it comes off, he's barking again. I've tried our training collar, and as it comes off, he's barking again. I'm guessing you have those bark collars on your dog, which basically we call it e-collar or shock collar. I'm guessing you have one of those. So whenever you take that off, your dog continues barking. So one of the problems with using these aversive tools, or in general tools is that the dog doesn't really learn not to bark, because as soon as you remove that product, they start barking again, or whatever it is. So that's one of the reasons why I don't suggest using Versi tools or shock collars or any electric collars or any tools to train your dog. So what you want to do is you want to work with your dog. If your dog, for example, is barking and you want your dog to stop barking, you have to understand that your dog, the reason is barking is it's communicating. It's not barking to drive you crazy. It's not barking to piss you off. Its plan or its purpose is not to piss you off. It's not to drive you crazy or drive you mad. It's because there's something going on that it's helping your dog to become anxious or nervous or excited or unhappy um, or becomes hold on a second or becomes stressed. So that's why it's barking. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your dog understands that you hear their voice, you hear them, you understand that they are stressed and something is causing them anxious or excited. Let's say if um, your dog sees another dog and gets excited and barks, or your dog sees a stranger starts barking. So the first example is your dog gets excited, happy to see dogs bark. So it's having a conversation with you that is saying, I'm happy, excited to see dogs. The second one, which your dog barks at other dogs or humans or strangers, is telling you that there's a stranger. There's something that is causing me stress. So you have to hear and listen to your dog. You can't just put a Band-Aid or collar on your dog and say, you know what, don't bark. That means when you do that, you're cutting off the communication between you and your dog. Your dog is trying to communicate to you, is trying to make connection with you. And when you put gimmicks or tools or gadgets on your dog feels that is being not heard. You know, you're cutting that communication from your dog. So your dog feels that it's not hearing you. You're not connecting with your dog. You're not having that healthy relationship with your dog. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you listen to your dog. And first of all, don't put those shock collars or those electric collars on your dog, because what it does, it makes your dog be afraid of you, because every time it communicates something to you, you put that and you cause pain in your dog, and your dog says, every time I try to communicate with my human causes pain in me. So what it happens is it makes your dog to become more and more stressed and anxious, and the next time you remove that collar, it becomes even more stressed to express itself. You know what I mean? So the more you do it, the worse it's going to get. So instead, I want to show you and teach you how you can start dealing with the barking itself. I'm going to share with you a video that I want you to watch. Barking. The title of the video is Barking, and I'm going to share the link. Go ahead and watch that video. It's in the chat line, the link. Go ahead and watch that video. Learn how to actually communicate with your dog. Bark, how to control that barking. So very interesting point that you brought up, and this is a topic that I can talk about it for hours and hours. Why you shouldn't be using tools and gadgets. Okay, in this case you're using it for barking, so I highly recommend you not to use it, because it makes you to become a bad human example to your dog, where your dog is trying to communicate to you and you are not available for communication. You'll test samples. The rescue is a miniature pinscher. Are they hyper dog breeds anyway? Well, in general, small dogs are more agile. They're more uh, excitable. They're more um, energetic, especially if they're young. Uh, Whereas larger breeds, they tend to slow down faster. It's not that they're hyper dogs, it's that they just have these bursts of momentary bursts, where they have this hyper moment and then they calm down. So all you have to do is learn how to learn about the fact that your particular pincher is going to have this burst and then he's going to calm down. I'm sure that happens. It's just that you have to be able to control it. And the way you control it is you create and you teach your pincher a cue word that your pincher can listen and respond to it, which is whatever it is you want to say. Let's say slow down or stop or go slow, whatever word you want to use, go use that word and you tell it to your dog and your dog responds to it. The way you're going to do it is you're going to teach your dog that um, you're not going to teach it when your dog is in that zone, in that hyper zone. You're going to teach it when your dog is actually calm, that it can hear and listen to you. So the way you're going to teach that, again, I have a video that you can watch and learn how I teach a cue word. Now, in this video, I use the word no. You can use whatever word you want to use. Um, I call this video control, how you can control your pincher. So the link is in the chat line. In this video, I teach you and show you how I would teach my dog to stop a behavior. You start with playing a game that your dog really loves, and you start bringing in the word that you want to use, whether you want to use no or stop it or don't do it or cucumber, whatever you want to use, right? You attach that word to the behavior that you want, and your dog learns, okay, next time if I am hype, if I hear this from my human, I will slow down. It will respond to you. And thank you very much, says, you are very welcome. I think the next one is Vilot. Is it possible, thank you for being here, Vilot, and thank you for your question. Is it possible to successfully reintroduce two female spayed dogs that had a fight? They have been apart for a year. Is this something I can somehow try? It is possible. It will depend on each dog's personality and how they are ranking. The personality is very important because there is a female dog, for example, who has high confidence, and there's another female who has low confidence. So it depends on which one is which. And what you want to do in this case, this is a great example. I have a video also about it. What you want to do is control at least one of them. Have 100% control towards at least one of them. You know what I mean? So have whichever that you think, whichever dog, whichever lab that you think you have the better chance of controlling and managing it 100%. I would work on that one first, control it and manage it. And the one that you think that is more challenging, you're going to have it on leash and under control all the time. So you want to have one dog that you can at least control 100% without the leash and without You can control it verbally. So I would suggest, to invest time and effort to train at least one of them. So when you bring the other one, you're focused on this one that you have to work on. That one, you're done. You can leave it alone, and you can um, be sure that you can have control over that one. So your focus is 100% on the other one. So you have to kind of figure out which one is which. Maybe work with one of them for a while until you have good control, and then introduce the other one. It doesn't matter if they're spayed or not, and even though they have had fights in previously, it doesn't really reflect on what happens today. They don't really hang on to those memories. Um, they let go, but that's how you can somehow try to connect them. I hope that makes sense. Um, so, so the video also that I want you to watch, I just posted in the chat line. It's called Get Along. Watch that video also for more information. Hopefully that will help you. So these were great questions so far, and I really enjoyed answering them. If there are more questions, feel free to ask them. But I always want to also invite you to join my online courses. I have few online courses that you can join right now, and I'm working on developing a puppy training course as well that you can join online anytime. You can find out more about these courses and how to become a better dog owner and a better and educated dog lover by visiting my website at sarodogtraining.com. And I believe I answered all the questions so far. And before I end this live session, let me just check. Milad is saying thank you. You are very welcome. Before I end this live session, I want to make sure that you have subscribed to the channel and also hit the bell icon as well. So anytime I go live or anytime I post a new video, you could be notified. After the live show, if you still have any questions that I didn't get to answer, go ahead and ask those questions in the comments area. I read all the comments and I reply to them all the time. And I'm very excited to actually reach to over 20,000 subscribers this week, which means our community is growing bigger and bigger, which is great. I really appreciate every one of you which you are joining and coming to the live sessions and joining the live sessions as well. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this live session. We'll do it again. Until next time, have fun with your dog.